Hello, everyone, and welcome back to what feels like it's been a very long time, actually. It's been like at least 4 or 5 weeks, I think. To Brainstorm! This is the show where... What?
I'm making a joke about time before time. It's been a long time.
Time before time.
It's like, yeah,
okay,
I was going
but it wasn't the time before time, because there was a time period, and it was 4 weeks ago.
The time during time.
The time during time.
That's all of time. All of time takes place during
the show
time.
Where we talk about time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Purple.
Time where we do our own things. I'm Var.
I'm Mesa.
I'm John.
And I'm Purple.
And today, Purple's going to be leading this podcast episode, guys. I just felt like I would, go ahead and introduce it so you guys could have a little sense of familiarity. But, variety is the spice of life. Isn't that right, Purple?
Go ahead and take it over, Purple.
Yeah, take it away, Perps.
You're very devious, Var, you know that?
So, Purple, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, we've got a ton of pitches and stuff to look at.
Okay.
Going
somewhere?
Let's look at the...
Okay.
Okay,
let's
which
look at
pitch
this
are we
one.
looking at
It looks
today,
cool.
Purple?
This is like Lyrac pitch.
Oh,
Looks
yeah,
neat.
you can never
All right,
go wrong
Purple
with
is
some ragdoll.
skipping
Yeah,
far through the list of
let's-
topics for today,
yeah,
all the way to the
let's
very
go.
end.
Are we supposed to go in order?
We're
Clearly,
supposed to
yeah.
go in order, Purple, but it's
Supposed
okay.
to go in order.
Who cares?
Well, you didn't say that, so...
Purple's lead. You can do whatever you
Purple,
want.
why would you pick the one at the bottom though?
Because it
Of the
requires
list.
less reading.
Started
we
from
have
like,
the bottom,
oh, it's
now
a
we
picture.
hear and all that,
Okay.
It's like, oh, it's a really cool picture. Looks sweet and stuff.
All
This is
right,
one of my
Purple,
favorite
we're not
things
going to be
in
talking
ragdoll
about
stuff.
that.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're going to
not?
have to
Oh,
bring
whoops,
the
alright.
reins.
Let
Yeah,
me,
who likes
let me
ragdoll anyway?
When we
Fine.
take that
What's
away
he ever
from
done
there.
for us?
All right.
Screw Ragdoll. No one likes Ragdoll. Right.
Wow.
Sorry, Ragdoll. It was just a joke. Anyway, for the topics we're actually going to be talking about. So, guys, it's been a while since we've done Brainstorm.
It's been a
As I mentioned,
while.
it's been a while. I think I've
It
said that like every new recording session so far.
Mhm.
So obviously, I'm sure a lot of people are just waiting and wondering when we're going to get back onto the actual like TV show talk.
That day
And
is
get
not
back.
today.
That day is not today. Right now, because it's been such a while and we're all kind of fuzzy on the whole thing at the moment, we're going to try and ease into things a little bit. We're going to talk about a few more fan pitches for today, and hopefully we'll update the status of the TV show at the end of the episode. But for now, we're going to try and ease into it and kind of get back into the swing of doing this regularly. So
Good idea.
for this episode, we've got some fan pitches, we've got some set designs, we've got some other stuff to talk about. So it'll be a nice, relaxed, even-paced episode that I have specifically ordered so that we could accomplish that, which Purple decided to skip to the very end.
You never said it had to go in order, dude. It's just like a pitch.
It's just an assumed thing that you would go in order, Purple. It's just kind of like
you would
there's
start
a
the first
list.
league, not the last.
Yeah, if there's a list. You kind of assume that you're gonna go down that list. Purple. All right, it's early for you. We forgive you.
Okay.
We drug you out of bed for this. Let's go.
It's not early. We just established it's not early.
I'm trying to be nice
12:47.
for once. I already did a whole rant about her on the last podcast episode where I did this whole
Being
thing.
patronizing
whole bit.
isn't nice.
Patreon.
I mean, to
But
some
you're
people,
It's
nice.
the illusion of being nice, but really, it's just a fraud. It's
Well, Purple-
worse than being
Purple
mean.
patronizes
You're a
me
frog,
pretending to be nice. So
You're a frog.
That's how we.
You're a frog, Jonathan.
That's how I express niceties with her.
Yeah, okay.
Niceties?
Niceties.
Niceties. Oh, that's-
Nice.
that's
As long
good.
as she's aware that this is.
Yeah, Purple, you're aware that I'm
this is
patronizing you,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the first pitch we have for today is one that was submitted by Temple Beast 1 on our TTB message boards. By the way, TTB board.ttbchannel.com. It's TTB message boards. You can go to discuss with the community. It's pretty cool.
I like it.
Awesome
I
place.
like it lots.
Create an account. It's completely free. Lots of awesome fan stuff going on there. Anyway.
It's a place to be on TTV.
the place to be on TTV. This first pitch is based off the Shadowed One and the Dark Hunters and this neat thing called Hordika Dragons. Now, I'm not sure if I feel like some of the stuff on this list we might have touched upon before. So just want to go ahead and get that out of the way. But it's been so long, and I don't think we've actually like talked in depth about any of the stuff on this list. So if we have, feel free to remind me. But
Okay.
because something about Hordika Dragons does sound familiar to me. But as far as the artwork here, I don't think I've seen them before. But
Same.
Simple Beast basically made a pitch regarding the Shadow One and the Dark Hunters, and it's kind of based around this concept of Hordika Dragons. So the Hordika Dragons are these Rahi creatures that are that migrate to the island once a year or something like that, which is interesting because the implication would be that they're going somewhere when they're migrating, right? So that means that they're
Where are they?
Where are they going? I mean, I kind of
Go from
my initial thought. What?
They go from like region to region or something.
I mean, like maybe, but this seems to imply they migrate to the island, not to the region. And it's
it
only
doesn't
once
imply
a
it.
year.
It specifies that they migrate to the island, but
Yeah. That's what.
which I mean, initially when I read that, I was like, but there is no other islands. But I mean, hey,
It might be.
there might be, yeah.
No,
So,
I like that. I like that thing though. There's a bit of a mystery that's undergoing. That's no, I mean,
Exactly.
like where are they? Where do they go?
where are they going?
Another little fun tidbit that may or may not matter. You mentioned you recognize the name Hordika Dragons. It's possible you recognize it from Bionicle because they are actually in Bionicle.
Well,
There's a Rahi named the Hordika Dragons. This
Are
is
they?
a concept that has been repurposed for G3. That's what a Hordika Dragon looks like in G1. It was in one of the Rahi books.
ew. That is
G1, G1,
disgusting.
everybody.
Dude, G1's like amalgamation MOCs are some of the worst things ever.
Wait, hold on. Did you post a picture of what it looked like?
Anyway, carry
Yeah,
on.
you posted it in the Discord sponsor chat, dude.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad, dude. All right.
Carry
Carry on.
It's right there, man. It's
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh, that is horrific. What is this abomination? It's like Frankenstein crawled out of the.
This was
That's
Is this
all
the
the
same
Dark
book?
Hunters, though.
Yeah,
Is this
it's
the
true.
is this the same book that had the Void New Sniper in it?
Yes, I think so.
I think so.
Rahi beasts.
I'm pretty. It's either the
Best
Rahi one or
story
the
ever.
Dark Hunters one.
Check
Void
out
New
the
Sniper.
Invictus analysis on our channel right now.
Yeah.
Both of them were kind of like, I don't know, like Lego did this thing where they made like fan MOCs, like official canon, which is
Yeah, there's
cool.
a contest.
If they were good.
It was cool, but like a lot of them are just kind of like, let's take these sets and smash them together.
And there's like, okay, there's also like, there's clearly some people who didn't pay attention to the Bionicle canon, and there's that guy Mimic who like has his special friend who is stuck on the island, and they're just best friends, and it's clearly whoever wrote that, it was a romance between Mimic and his girlfriend, and the Shadow One that's keeping her prison, but there was no official romance in Bionicle, right? So they had to be like, his best friend's on the island somewhere imprisoned.
It was pretty
Anyhow.
sketch.
I
But
mean,
hey,
he
at
was his
least-
best friend, dude.
At least we got the Kanohi dragon.
I mean, it was in canon.
That's
I'm
a
just
cool
saying.
dragon.
Then maybe it was just his best friend. Why are you making it all be like this romance?
Why you gotta
thing?
make it into some sort of relationship thing?
Do you know the way?
Do you know the
Where did that come from?
It's the only meme I've been seeing here.
The meme literally came out of nowhere.
I was like, what
just happened?
What are you doing?
Anyway,
Back to Hordika
Alright.
dragons.
so yeah, the Hordika dragons, they're migrating to the island, which is cool. They're really aggressive and stuff and awesome. The one thing that this mentions is that the eggs of the dragons, once they hatch, the dragons immediately imprint upon whoever like they see first. You know, like it's their mother.
Oh yeah.
So I think the pitch basically is like, oh, so the Shadowed One and the Dark Hunters want to, you know, kind of hunt down these eggs and like take them so that they, the baby dragons can like imprint upon them and they can control them.
Sounds like a B plot if I've ever heard one. In a good way. In a good way. It's been a secondary thing.
Sounds like a B plot if I've ever heard it.
Good grief, dude.
It's a good supplementary story.
That was the rudest thing you've
Yeah,
ever said.
That's that.
That's what a B plot is. It's like a side story. I didn't mean it.
Dude, like, can you imagine? Be like, dude, Meso, hey, you know I got engaged? You're like, oh, that's a B plot if I ever heard one. That'll be over.
I mean, that's great for you, but I don't see that being the main story to my movie.
Yeah, right.
Carry on. Just move on.
So yeah,
Puerto Rico lost all power? Oh, that sounds like a B plot if I ever heard one.
I mean, that's basically the crux of this pitch. And obviously there's a lot of artwork here that he's done for some of the characters, his designs, what the Dark Hunters would look like. The shadowed one in particular takes a lot of inspiration from Umarak.
Love it. It's like a fusion of their masks. Or
yeah, which is good. We had some like Umarak kind of concepts before, so it's cool that he's sort of implemented those concepts into a more of a, I guess, fitting idea within the universe.
Yeah.
So that's cool. John, didn't you have something kind of already sort of planned out with the shadowed one in particular? I think in the
in the story
Stone
Bible.
Region? I don't know if this fits with what you had in mind or not.
It kind of does, actually. I think I don't know if he did this after Story Bible came out, but basically the Dark Hunters are mercenaries that are, they're one of the biggest companies of mercenaries. They go and they specifically hunt down people that have forfeited on their debts from the bank. That are initially, of course, they do a lot of other stuff too, assassinations and all that great stuff. But the idea is that they were the hunters for the, they're kind of like the IRS, the debt collectors. They were the Dark Hunters were one of these gangs that would go around and do stuff. Umarak, there was a thing where like initially, I never actually said this, but in my head, Umarak is the actual name of the shadowed one, as opposed to like
I think we did say that before.
Oh wow! Okay, so that works.
That works well.
Because all the Dark Hunters in the universe, the is the code name.
Yeah,
so
they're like
are going to be in there. Then it's going to be the Trigger, the Tracer. And
that's like their
Shadow.
That's how they keep.
I just saw a comment on the YouTube chat that mentioned how the dragons migrate to Uganda.
No way.
All right.
Anyway, sorry, just had to point that out.
Incredible.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good then. And that does kind of fit with what you were suggesting.
Prentice asked if there's assassinations in the Legging line, ? Yeah, that was the whole point of Dark Hunters in G1. That's like what they did. They did like mercenary
they
stuff.
Skirted around it, but it was that and like
no, they killed people a lot in G1. Like there's Lariska went and killed a bunch of people.
Yeah. I don't know if they ever straight out like used the word assassination or not.
No, yeah, they never did.
Nor did it happen on screen, but it was.
It certainly happened.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, in that case, not gonna say it's canon just yet, but it certainly fits in. So it's a cool suggestion. It's a cool idea. If we can find a place to implement that,
it's a cool culture thing. We were talking about it last week. The thing we really want to see from a lot of pitches is this like culture,
Yeah, and I like Rahi a lot. So, and I mean, dragons are cool. Am I right, Purple?
Yeah.
Purple wow.
At least it could have been an enthusiastic. Yeah.
I'm not very enthusiastic right now.
Do you want to try it again? Do you want to do like a yeah?
No.
All right. That was your one chance, and you blew it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, moving. You blew it on. From that one, we also have this sort of it's kind of like a concept of how this guy sees the introduction to the TV show. This guy Oddnenref101993. Oh boy, what a name!
What?
Best name ever.
Listen, I'm gonna do you a solid here. If you PM some people on you can kind of get your name changed. I don't know if you're thinking about it, but
you should.
Might want to.
It's just hard to. It's a branding. It's branding sometimes. Just get rid of the numbers. That's all I really.
Oddnenref. At least, yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, he did a first. The topic title is first episode trying to flesh out the pitch and story concept. So that's cool. But it's essentially sort of his visualization of how the intro would look based off the false narrator concept that John you brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Only problem with this is that the images are incredibly dark and hard to read. So
scroll down.
It's pretty true.
I did end up scrolling down, but even then it's a little difficult to pick up on, and they're different on the bottom ones too. So I'm not exactly sure if it's supposed to be a representation of the same concept or not. I don't think it is because it looks like this is about the Tahu transformation and not the introduction, like at the start of the topic. But yeah. But it's a cool little breakdown of the intro and how he kind of sees it happening. He said he couldn't find the script to the first episode.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh, it's in the description.
It's in the description for this podcast, which you specified you listened to in the topic. So
podcast.
But I mean, listen, not to. I think this is really cool. Not to rag on this guy too much. This is
No, we must rag on him.
Interesting.
It's for the greater good.
Yeah, so this is pretty cool. Not going to put too much time onto it because it's you kind of know what to expect here, but it's pretty
check
good.
it out.
So
It'll be
check it out if you're interested.
Storyboards are a really cool idea. So
yep. All right, and for the final pitch for today, before we move on to the set concepts, we've got more Umatu art.
Oh yeah.
So this is a cool one. This was done by Umatu, Matthew Griffith, who's done so much awesome artwork for Brainstorm already. So obviously check him out on his social media platforms and everything. But this was commissioned by Dark Henrik. And it's a pretty quick one. It's just weapon concepts and designs that the Rockshi might have.
I love all of these to death.
And I think they're all really cool. Yeah, I especially like the crossbows and just the bows and arrows and stuff. I think those all look really, really cool and unique. Would they all have unique pieces? Probably not.
Probably not.
But realistically speaking, probably not. But I think these designs are really cool for sure.
I think you can reuse the crossbow piece. If you
I think you
In a
can.
different color scheme.
I like
the
the-
whip
I like the-
already exists
the
in
whip.
Lega.
Yeah,
Just like paint it different
we'd
colors.
have to. Yeah, we have to paint it or something.
I like how some of the weapons line up with like the silhouettes in the background.
Yeah, it's really
Like
cool.
the
how
pictures.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I can like envision them holding them.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, you're right. Huh.
My favorites are probably Kuraks. It's just his are the most simple, but they look the coolest to me. That sword
that a
is dynamite.
They look
It
cool.
wasn't meant to be, but hey,
Is his name supposed to
like,
sound like Cool Rack?
cool rack. Maybe, I don't know.
Pickaxe and this sword are really cool. They're nice
Yep.
little weapons.
Pan
I think,
racks I like, but I can't figure out what are the bottom two supposed to be.
I think they're just like gauntlets, like gloves or something. You just kind of hold.
okay,
It's just like pinchers.
I like
Fair enough.
Gurax at the bottom. That's his name, right? The stone one.
Cthulhu.
No,
No.
Gurek is the water one.
Oh, what,
Yeah, the one
is
at the
it
bottom is Vorak.
Vorak. I was gonna say it's not Orak.
I've like never referred to them by their Rockshi names.
Yeah, just the
in this
Earth
pitch.
one. I like
The
I like this thing of like the hammer and are those staffs?
I think
Yeah,
so.
like
Yeah.
spears.
Okay.
Yeah, I like those too. My personal favorite's the Arax. I like the just the colors used there a lot. I think the orange works really well.
The patterning on these, the coloration is absolutely on point.
Yeah.
Unlike
So,
got a nice
They'll
little-
probably need to be simplified a little bit once we actually start moving into trying to represent those in real set form.
Probably.
But these look really cool for sure. So it's always good to see more Umatu art, you know.
Oh yes, please come back, Umatu.
He's never going to come back. He's a legend. He died.
He's moved on to Island Fall.
Well, sometimes the legends must be reborn.
Shut up.
Oh, I'm glad you're back, Purple.
That joke had as much enthusiasm as her. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes the legends must be reborn.
Reborn.
I think the monotone delivery of it just helps because it's just such a bad joke.
Yup.
Just like, oh yeah, I realize it's bad, but I'm saying it anyway.
Yeah.
Owning it.
All right, so
That's good.
next up, we're going to be talking about some more set design concepts that some people have done. There's been a lot of them while we've kind of been away on our like holiday break. So there's plenty to talk about here. And obviously we've had quite a few of them prior to this as well. This is part of the segment where I'm not sure if we've talked about some of these or not, but I'm pretty sure we haven't talked about any of these. So I'm just going to
Pretty sure we haven't. We're just gonna go over them all.
Yeah.
I looked over them too, and I'm pretty sure we haven't talked about any of them. So
All right. So the first one is the Takia Shark submarine. This one's submitted by us.
You skipped one on the list, Var.
Did I?
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say you skipped
Some
the
G know
minifigure
why.
design concept
No why.
Oh,
by
dang it.
by Cardax.
I clicked the wrong one.
I guess you did.
And
I had it pulled up, so that's why that's the only reason.
all
I
right,
know.
so the first one we're going to be talking about is the G3 Volrek minifigure design by Cardax.
Why would you choose one from later down the list for? Okay, go on.
I thought I clicked the first one. I didn't mean to choose one later down the list.
I didn't mean it.
So this one is pretty self-explanatory by the title alone, but this guy's trying to represent the Vorak design that Umatu made in his concept artwork in minifigure form. And he's done a bunch of different kind of styles of how it could potentially look. He did one was just a standard minifigure with some like height added to it. And then he tried to do a bunch of different kind of leg designs. Problem with that, I think the leg designs are a little too intricate.
Oh yeah,
especially that second image. It kind of makes the set look like he's or the figure look like he's on like a walker or something from Star Wars. You know?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I like the concept though, but I just it's one of those things that you would need to do a bit more refining on. But I kind of like where it was going.
He would probably honestly with the trying to represent these legs, it might be better to just make a new piece entirely. But
or just use that piece that they used in Lego Dimensions, I think, for the Gremlins.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And they also had him for the goblins in the Ultimate Batmobile.
Yeah, it might not be as tall as I would like, but it would get the point across.
Yeah, he would be shorter, but
I
mean, like you can add like
Vorak. Hold up, isn't Vorak supposed to be the big fig though, or the
no? That's
fig?
Kurak.
Yeah,
Vorak is supposed to be like a tall and lanky dude.
You're right.
Vorak
is.
I mean, like Kurak.
Kurak, yeah, Kurak's big fig.
I kind of like that last design. Like it's just an entirely custom build.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. I think that one's probably the best of them all, personally speaking.
Oh yeah,
and it's definitely a more unique interpretation of that for sure.
Totally.
Maybe we could use that mold meso, but like do like a woody leg version of that mold.
Maybe.
Or you could just add like the Harley Quinn like skates to it and give it a different color scheme or something, or kind of do a slightly different mold.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
True, I suppose.
Just to give it some more length, you know. Because the Gremlins minifigure isn't any shorter than a normal minifigure.
Yeah, it's about the same size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what this is. I think we'd probably end up going with the more standard minifigure with gremlin legs, I think.
Right.
We think is what we're getting at here.
That gremlin legs is that.
I like the custom minifigure at the very bottom, though. I think that's my favorite of these.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I like the idea of this guy being Vorak being very lanky, you know, almost like a Slender Man kind of figure, where he's like, but it's just harder to replicate that in set form. So.
Yeah,
but I think like when we first came up with the concept, he was a very kind of like, who's the Hunger one? Is it
Hunger?
him or is it Kurak?
Yeah, he's
Vorak.
Yeah, that's Vorak. It's Earth.
Okay, so the idea is like he was like really skinny and couldn't and lanky, and he didn't look like he was fed, and that's why he was always hungry almost. So. A lot of these, like even though a bunch of these concepts seem to draw a bit on a normal minifigure stance or a more powerful minifigure stance, and the idea is that he's like a lot more creepier and like like Slender Man's salad fingers, that kind of like really tall, really thin, wiry kind of thing.
Okay. One question that I saw from the YouTube chat was someone who asked about or he mentioned that what he's getting from it is mostly minifigures with maybe potential for construction figures, and yeah, that's basically what we're thinking of with the G3 concept in terms of sets, is that the primary focus would be system-based sets with a kind of like a side of construction. If we ever get to that, so
definitely
just kind of clarify that, because I think there's still some confusion on that.
Think
as well.
Legends of Chima and how that was handled.
Yeah,
the construction figures were entirely peripheral.
Hopefully, but hopefully a bit better.
They were completely supplemental. You didn't need them at all, but the theme did have the budget for them, and it did use them multiple times.
All right. So now moving on. Now we can finally talk about the Takia submarine. I keep saying Takia shark submarine because I know it's a Takia shark, but in the
Takia
title
shark
there is no shark.
New
so I
from
keep
Subway.
tripping on my words.
Takia
Shut
shark
up.
sub sandwich.
Anyway,
Someone's got food on his mind. I feel like every
Yeah,
conversation
seriously.
we've had with you has been around food.
why
What
don't you
are you
get
doing,
food before
Meso?
podcasts?
No, I didn't have time, but I don't know
Purple, you
about
were
him.
asleep.
Yeah.
You had time. You just didn't wake up.
Because sometimes when I eat, I go into one of my super massive coughing fits. I don't want that to happen on
Or
the
she has to go on the internet for an hour before she has to.
Also that.
So wake up an hour earlier then.
Yeah, purple.
I just forgot to set my alarm.
I forgot to say.
So the Takia submarine is it's based off of the Takia submarine from 2007 with who are their names? Sarda and
Idris.
Idris, yeah.
Idris Elba?
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
Purple. Idris Elba. The famous actor Idris Elba from Thor Ragnarok and The Dark Tower is here in Bionicle. He's going to be voicing, I don't know, someone.
OMG.
Yeah, forget Luther, his famous The Dark Tower, or what's it?
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
I've never seen Luther, dude, so I can't really say if that's any good or not. I know people say it's good, but I haven't seen it, so
Did you see The Dark Tower?
I saw Thor Ragnarok, and I haven't finished reading The Dark Tower, but I'm
I
starting.
was very
Dark Tower's a
disappointed
good
to hear
book.
the Dark Tower
Disappointing
was a
movie.
bad movie.
Yeah,
the trailer
it
was
apparently
awesome.
a bad movie. It's funny.
Yeah, the
like,
trailer was pretty awesome.
The trailer was great, and then like The Dark Tower flopped, and it was really successful. So,
I finished The Stand. Great book.
Really?
Not appropriate for our audience.
but if you go to audibletrial.com/CTV, you can get one of these great
TTV.
books we're talking about.
Yeah, if you're curious,
It's not appropriate, but here's how you can listen to it.
Yeah, for free, actually.
Yeah.
If you want to head over to audibletrial.com/TTV, you can check that book out for free, like I did when I signed up with our. You know, the best thing about getting a new credit card is that I can use our reference code
Yeah.
for the free book.
Do that.
Oh, gosh.
I
Is Google even
no,
still a
that's it.
thing? Like, I thought that stopped.
No, we don't ever advertise it, so no one ever does it.
And also because we ran out of Lego books, that was the thing. We were like,
Also,
oh,
yeah,
beyond the brick.
there was only ever
What can
one
we
Lego
plug
book.
anymore?
But we should.
It's like
we
there's
read a
only
lot
there's
of
only
other
so many
books.
times you can plug brick by brick
Yeah.
before people are like, yeah, we read it already, dude. So anyway, Takia submarine. This one's a pretty standard build. I mean, it's not too complex or anything. It's kind of just more of a concept build than anything. But it's to give you an idea of like how a vehicle could kind of look, sort of based off of a Rahi, because the idea is that it's a vehicle meant to simulate like a shark. So it's something that the Nihons could use for sure.
I think it pulls it off very well.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I think you could maybe do a bit of reworking here and tweaking there, but I think it's a good concept. Probably something we'll probably end up going with. For sure.
Yeah. Definitely the concept of having a submarine is going to be there. The only thing I guess I'm thinking is like just it could maybe the form could be a bit more aerodynamic with the sides.
I'd say give it a
Hydrodynamic, yeah.
color
All right, that's actually a good point. Thank you for
because it's just walls of azure.
Hydrodynamic.
And yeah, you go purple. Redeem
Go
yourself.
purple! Yeah,
We did
criticize
shit
that
wrong.
down, dude. Call them out. Anyway, so moving on to our next set, we have. Let me make sure I'm actually clicking the right link. Okay, the Kanai Waterfall, submitted by Vicroen on the
Is it
TV.
Kanai or Kane? I've actually
I've
never
gone back and forth,
realized.
to be honest.
Okay, yeah. This
I think it's Kane, but I kind of
Okay.
say both.
I
interchangeably.
usually say Kane, but Kanai is also fair.
I want Kanai. It sounds cooler.
I'm trying to record a podcast. Can you stop meowing?
Yeah,
I was
Mom.
in a dream,
get
my
out of
cat
room.
ran away from me, and it was really sad.
Does your
Wow.
cat like you? I forget.
Kind of, but not enough to actually like interact with me.
Maybe if you
Didn't
were
she
awake
like
to
you when you
interact
were
with it.
upstairs though?
What?
When you were upstairs, didn't she really like you?
When I'm like the only person in the house, yeah. So it's like by default.
That's
Okay.
kind of sad. So, all right.
All right. Anyway,
Raw.
So this is another set design. This one is based off Kanai as well, and this is just sort of a scenic kind of set concept. Kind of reminds me of the bridge battle from the Ninjago movie. Master Falls, I think it's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Master Falls. So it's obviously a smaller kind of piece. I think the concept's definitely there for me. I think this one suffers from what is it? Presentation, I would say. You know, like a lot of these really good set concepts have been posted using LDD renders, which really helps kind of see the vision that these creators had going into it. With photography, it's a little distracting with the shadows and everything, which is, I mean, it happens, but yeah. Oh my god, cat.
Meow. Meow.
I would say that in terms of the design, it's also a little cluttered. It's kind of difficult to tell what some things are meant to represent. It looks like there's like kind of a bridge going on. I think that's a bridge, but it's not going anywhere, so it's just sort of floating. And the color placement's kind of, you know, there. So I think the concept works. We'll probably end up going with something similar to it. So just felt like I'd mention that.
Yeah,
Any other comments anyone else has?
I like
the concept of the set. I get what you're saying, Var. Is like it's a little difficult to tell what some things are supposed to be. The back part, I don't know if that's another bridge or a plank leading off to the thing or kind of that. But I do like the little environment.
It could be a plank.
I like the little like snippet of what Kane life is going to be like, and I like that concept of the set. And as always, you know, any set concept is already like a massive uptake in my book. This is something cool.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. My cat just tripped. Fell on my lap. All right, you gotta go away. I'm trying to record a show here. Okay. The next set is so this is actually gonna be branching off of a very old topic. This one was submitted by Umatu a really long time ago with his Rahi concepts. He made some concept art for what the Rahi could look like in G3, and that was made back in March. But we got a new post that was added to the topic, not by Umatu, but by Sanical. Sanakai?
Got to go
no,
speedy.
it's an L. It's an L. I was just I misread.
Oh, okay.
Sanaka.
All right, well,
McCall.
The goal of this post was to realize some of Umatu's concepts in set form. So he basically took a lot of the Rahi ideas and made little like set builds of them using those mixel joints. And I think most of these all of these actually are really creative and really like cute and fun to look at. And I think the best part about this is that I think they all work pretty well and could be easily integrated into basically any set we would want to integrate them into.
I'm scrolling down and looking at them. Yeah, totally.
Adorable.
Yeah,
I really like that second one.
Yeah, my favorite's the Krawa for sure. I love the Krawa.
Yeah, the Krawa is really
adorbs.
Good.
I like his interpretation of the Tarakawa. Oh, sorry, not the Tarakawa, the Kanera. The colors kind of.
We'll go back and forth.
Yeah,
so,
it looks kind of funny, but the wheel on the back.
The Krawa concept art by Umatu, and then like the LDD set they made are surprisingly super accurate. Like,
oh yeah,
he realized that very
well. Yeah,
for sure.
That translated from concept to set very, very well. I really like that.
Only concern he notes is that it might need sturdier joints, which I do understand. Because I did mention that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, you're right. The Kane Ra also is a really cool build.
Yep, the wheel on the back.
The wheel on the back and everything. It's a nice reimagining of the Rahi. So.
For sure.
The little frost beetle.
I like the Gekula a lot. I like the. I mean, obviously, like it's when it's posed in Umatu's art, it looks way cuter. You know, like a little. Here, I'll post it in the chat so you guys can see. But the actual set that the guy made too is also pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and obviously we also got another new Rama concept. We've had plenty of these. A lot of people have made their own interpretations of the new Rama.
Oh yeah.
So I'm convinced new Rama can work, regardless of what design we end up going with. But This one's cute. I like the size of it. I think the scale is the best part about these. Is that they're really well realized MOCs and concept and ideas, and they're realized in a very nice micro scale, so that these can be put in basically any set. That's the big draw to these. I like.
Definitely.
These don't really need to be the main, the star of the set. They can just be added to anything. So
There's only one I'm not big on, and that is the Tarakova.
Tarakava?
Tarakova.
The Tarakova.
It just looks wrong with 2 legs.
I think your pronunciation was just wrong.
No, it's the Tarakova, dude.
I'm trying to find it.
It looks
Tarakova.
weird with 2 legs.
Stop, dude.
It needs its wheel thing, its tread thing, or its 1 leg, or at least it needs to be
treadmill.
creepy, elongated like Purple's iteration from way back when. It just as just a regular like humanoid just hobbling along.
Maybe it's a baby Tarakova.
Maybe.
Ever thought about that?
No, I actually didn't think about the baby
So-
Tarakova.
Dude, they just lose a leg as they grow up?
Maybe.
Yeah. It's like how frogs lose their tail.
Yeah, they don't need it
Except
anymore.
inverted.
What? No, it's not inverted.
Frog
No, it is.
grow
Yeah, yeah,
legs, but Tarakava would lose legs.
Yeah.
Well, a
That's
frog would lose its tail to grow a leg, but in this case, he just isn't growing legs. He's just losing the tail.
Maybe the Tarakava's in a
No,
mid
he
stage
isn't
of
losing
evolution.
the tail,
Maybe
though.
He's
He's-
gonna grow like other stuff.
He's not losing a tail though. He's gonna be losing a leg, and that one leg will turn into a tail kind of thing.
It's bootleg.
What do you mean?
Just-
What do you mean?
The frog has a
What do you
tail. The
mean?
tail goes away. This thing has a leg. The leg goes away. Why is it reversed?
No, because the tail like kind of like splits into 2.
No, it doesn't. It just shrinks. It shrivels into his butt and goes away. It doesn't split. You don't see 2 tails forming.
Can we watch like a time lapse?
No, because the frog has legs while he has a tail too.
Your Froggo has
No,
a
you're
ball.
right. You're right. You're right.
Anyway,
I mean, like,
we
okay,
watch a time
alright.
lapse. we gotta verify this frog theory. We gotta make sure this is correct.
I'm just okay. I mean, like, it's like a mermaid almost. You know, like the Little Mermaid, how she had her mermaid tail and and this is gonna be the opposite, where like the 2 legs kind of like merge to form a giant.
I mean, sure, that's the opposite of the Little Mermaid. Glad I didn't mention the Little Mermaid.
yeah, I know you didn't mention the Little Mermaid.
I
That's
feel
why
like
I'm
the Little
bringing up
Mermaid is just a frog. She loses her tail
I
to
feel
get
like
to
the Little Mermaid's just a really bad movie.
No, that's the Princess and the Frog. Very separate.
No, I know that.
It's
I mean,
it's
Ariel
actually
is
the
like
reverse
a
of the
frog.
Princess and the Frog.
Frog and the Princess. Boy.
All right.
Dude.
Let's head on. Let's go.
Get on my level with my Disney references. Anyway. So yeah, they're cute little Rahi. I like them a lot. I think these are really awesome. And I think a lot of these concepts are pretty much I wouldn't change them, honestly, that much if we were going to add these into anything. Especially the Krawa. I like the Krawa so much. Maybe I'd add like studs on the top so the minifigures can ride it or something.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That
Yeah.
is cool. Oh, let me throw out Purple's concept art from a while back of the Tarakava, so that people can see.
Or like a really creepy one when it had like the super long arms or something.
Yeah, it's super long arms and stuff.
It's like crawling itself around.
Crawling.
Crawling in my
Shin.
Swim. No. All right. I'm gonna say swim because it's supposed to be water and it rhymes with skin. And okay, all right, don't worry. I'm gonna ban it.
That was a good joke, dude. I liked it. It made me laugh a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ha 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 ha. I laughed a lot in English.
I don't know, it sounded like you were saying Kamehameha.
Kamehameha. Ha ha ha
So are we? We're with this bit, right? I'm gonna.
ha. Maybe I
I'm
want
done
to
my own bit.
keep up with the bit, dude.
What's
Maybe I want
done
to
with my
keep
own
going
bit.
with the
I
bit.
want to keep
My
going
own
for a
bit.
bit.
I'm done with.
All right,
Hurry up, I'm like really hungry right now.
Purple. We are at the 40-minute mark. You still
We
got
gotta
at
go
least
for
10
at
more
least
minutes.
yeah, at least another 15.
At least 10
Okay.
more to 15 more minutes. So
We got a
hurrying
few more
up isn't going to
pitches.
change. Literally not going to change a thing.
Okay, there is. Oh
Anyway,
Let me think.
Go.
okay. Do you have something else to say, or
No. Well, not about it. There's one thing you're missing. There's a set you're missing that we should talk about.
I'm not missing anything. I just haven't talked about it yet.
It's not on the list, so.
Oh, I thought we already talked about this one.
It's what's 13? It was made 13 days ago, so we haven't had.
Okay, yeah. I guess
brainstorm
there's
that
no way
long,
we could have
so we
talked about it then.
Yeah.
We must have talked about it in call or something. I remember talking about it.
Yeah,
All right,
no, I
we'll talk.
linked it, but
We'll talk about this one then. All right. This one is the G3 set concept Lost Shrine of Wind by Sakota. Now,
Absolutely legendary.
Sakota at this point is basically legendary. You know, he's basically a legend because he's
done one
created
for
so many set concepts, and all of them have been amazing. And this one is no exception.
this one is really good.
It's one of the best for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
know where to begin unpacking this. I love the bird.
All of the statue.
So
Statue is
The
good.
I really
bird,
like
the
this one.
Foliage.
I really like this one personally because it's taking a concept that we introduced in the story Bible that was released over the break, and realizing that in set form. So if you read the section on not Kane on no, it is Kane. You read the section on Kane, you can see that we have some information about like how there's a statue of Liwa there, and it's like one of the few regions that still continues to believe in the Toa and that have that legend continuing to circuit around and stuff. So there's a statue of Liwa there, and he took that concept and he realized it, and this is a set form of that. And I like the fact that it is the Liwa, the interpretation of Liwa on the statue is that of the G1 Liwa, not
Right.
the G3 Liwa.
I adore the
That's
vines.
great.
Just covering
It's
it.
great. It's great. I really
And
like
he
that.
even got the Mata hand,
You got the Mata hand, you got the
Mata
axe.
hand and
I
everything.
love that.
the ball, and the torso.
The implication, of course, is that the original Toa were like they looked a lot more like the OG Toa, and so like that's
Right.
like that's something we've always
yeah.
had in mind. But like it's great to see that recognized in the set concept.
Yeah, especially because it's a nice kind of subtle way of doing that. Like obviously everybody listening to our podcast and our show right now knows like that. That's our intention for a while now. But if we were to actually have this G3 take off and actually become an official thing, no one would know that that's what our intention is. So I think this is a really good kind of subtle way of hinting at that.
For sure.
That the original Liwa was like the original Liwa, and he kind of was the G1 Liwa. So yeah, I like that a lot.
Man, the statue even has like the gear in the back and like the symbol at the bottom.
It's so well
Yeah,
done.
It's really well done.
It's
It's really
incredible.
well done, honestly.
It's
And
very,
then the
very good.
attention to detail with the foliage and the vines and the leaves that is coating the set. It's absolutely fantastic.
Mhm.
It just looks so alive.
Has a great like overgrown look, and obviously it even includes a Rahi, which is always good. The more Rahi, the better. I love the Rahi. I think the Rahi is the best. The thing that really sets kind of Bionicle apart from some of the other Lego system themes. There's less focus on vehicles, more on animals,
These
creatures.
And like kind of like I mean these animals are it's slightly robotic too, so it's like a
Best
they have
of
an
both
aesthetic
worlds.
to them. Yeah, they do kind of feel like vehicles, but much more.
Organic.
Yeah, and again, one thing that this set does, and I say this with every one of his sets, but I think it's a very important part. This set does not necessarily look like a set you could get in another line, and I mean, like, granted, there are some, like, Ninjago does have, like, some jungle themes to it, but all the set concepts he does, especially, like, the Motara Cavern and the Mangarian Defense, like, these are sets that make sense for Bionicle to be made. We're not doing Ninjago of a slightly robotic skin. It is a new world. It's a new concept. It's a new, it's this original thing that you can really see in these sets. They make a great argument as to why Bionicle should exist as system, because you can get cool builds that you can't get anywhere else.
Oh my god, dude, the Gecko bird has like a gear function too. Like you lift the tail and the wings go up.
Let me see.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Huh. Oh, that's really nice. That is really cool.
Yee, I like it. And the scenery is all a little bit modular too. You can kind of take those off and pop them on. It's all real
Yeah.
cool. So
I love the floating island stuff and how like he made that concept you know.
You know, a really cool thing about the floating island concept as a concept is that you can kind of get away with these sets that are just like little like snippets of things because you can just say they're floating islands. Yeah, they're not connected to anything.
Yeah.
Love it.
That works really well.
In my head, this is what the Shrine of Wind looks like. So, canon confirmed. Stamp of
canon confirmed. Woot! He did it. He got canonized. Woohoo! All right. Final set for today, unless there's another one that I'm forgetting.
I will check and make sure, but let's.
Well, it's the last set, but not the last topic.
Yeah, there's one more topic, but this is the last set to talk about. You go ahead and look for any others in case I missed them, but for now, we're going to talk about the Kanai Skydox G3 concept here. This is submitted by Cardax, and this one is. Wow,
this one's also
a
really
blue
good.
gecko.
I freaking love this gecko, dude.
It's like a blue jay.
I
love this
blown
thing.
Blown away by this.
Oh my gosh, just this thing is just so cool looking. I love it.
Yup.
It's like a giant blue jay almost.
Yeah, and the thing is. It obviously, you know, you kind of want that color representation because, you know, Bionicle's all about the color palettes, right? You want everything in the Lee region to be green and whatever. But there's something about the gecko being blue that works really well here. It helps make this gecko feel a bit more special.
It's because you can imagine it's flying through the sky and you just see the silhouette of a blue gecko, and it's just it fits, it matches the aesthetic. It's not out of place whatsoever, and you actually think about the context.
Yeah.
Feed me.
It's what if it was like kind of like a Avatar, not the Last Airbender, but the movie Avatar.
The movie, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Where you've got like this. Now my cats are fighting.
What was that sound? I was like, what?
They're like, do it. Can you guys go away? Can you go away? Can you stop
doing a
swatting
pod?
me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a podcast. I'm kicking you guys out next time.
Or Dad's
clearly.
attention, I guess.
But yeah, so maybe it's like the Avatar where you got like this like elusive like legendary gecko, right? He's not just a normal gecko, but he's like a legendary gecko. He's like more fearsome and quicker and faster, and he's like it's like
How to Train Your Gecko.
How to Train Your Gecko. Yeah, sure. Actually, that's another good comparison, maybe. But it's like the legend is that, you know, the gecko's invisible. You never see him. He's so fast that he's, you know, no one has ever seen it. It's because he's blue. He blends up with the sky.
Yeah, that's actually a cool concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
It's like a stealth gecko.
It's awesome.
Yeah, stealth. Yeah, anyway. Sorry. This set's really cool. Where does he mention how many pieces? Okay, so the bird itself only has 300 pieces.
That's still really good, huh?
That's crazy. Yeah, that's a really good bird with a pretty small part count there.
Yeah.
So that's very impressive.
We haven't talked about the dock yet, and I really like the dock too. I mean, as much as I love the gecko, the dock is one of my favorite parts of this mock.
Mm-hmm.
Cool dock.
Well, that's why I was wondering what the piece count was, because I was like, the dock is also good, but does that make the piece count go too high? Would these have to be two different sets or something? But if I'm looking at the bird alone, maybe not.
30, and then like depending on how much like the set is, it might be a $60 set, right?
Yeah.
That seems kind of fair, to be honest. Like, I would be willing to spend $60 on this.
Yeah, I think it's totally worth $60.
Yeah. No, I do too.
I think I love this. I think this is just really cool. Honestly, I say this is canon too. Like
another thing. I love how he handled Vorok. We were just talking about it earlier. I actually forgot that part existed.
That's Vorok.
Yeah.
Particular leg piece, and it.
Are those from Exoforce?
I didn't even notice he was in this, to be honest.
Or
I'm not sure if they are from Exoforce. Maybe they might be from Robotic Darth Maul.
Oh yeah, maybe
that would make a lot of sense, and that's
like General Grievous.
That is the along the lines of where.
Yep, that's the look we wanted him to have, and that's the kind of leg design I was hoping he'd have. So boom, problem solved.
And he's taller than the other. Yeah, no, it works. He's tall and lanky.
It's almost exactly like the concept art, actually. Amatu probably had that piece in mind, and I just forgot it existed.
Probably.
Maybe.
Wowden asked, or he kind of suggested that, like, during the Civil War, the Lemurtorn could actually weaponize the stealth gecko as, like, bombers or something.
Just stick like a machine gun on it.
I like it lots.
Nice. All right. Well, that is all the sets for this week. So, one final thing we're going to talk about before we end, we're going to talk about the TV show just a little bit here. We're going to try and touch upon that next week. Let's talk about the status of that real quick before we move on to this topic real quick. Are we going to be, because I think right now, in terms of what needs to happen to move on with the TV show, I think we need the script written for episode 3.
Yes.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. Are we wanting to write every single script for every single episode?
Yes.
Or are we just going to like, because that's
I guess we don't
take
need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a while. I don't mind, right? I mean, these first couple episodes were introducing to Toa. I don't mind doing them, but like, we already planned for 10 episodes. Are we going to write 10 scripts? Because
I kind of figured that was the goal.
I kind of figured we would do that too. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, we haven't even touched. We haven't even touched the. Well, I mean, like, we've been building towards. We haven't even touched what's going on in year 2. We haven't touched what's going on in year 3. There's a lot more.
Yeah, but like, if we don't have the story for year 1 figured out, then moving.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind figuring out the story
and figuring
out.
We need to have like meticulous bullet point detail.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like where the characters are and what they're going to be.
But
like.
I do think the end goal of this project is delivering a readable story. Because there's a limit to how far we can take this. I'd imagine at the very least we will have fan
writing
fiction,
scripts is at least something that we can
or
do.
At the very least we will have a
true.
complete
That's true.
script.
No, I just mean, like, you know, I think that we should go through like and do an in-depth thing episode by episode for sure. I just don't know if like we should commit to writing all 10 episodes of this season. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if we need
not right away or not ever.
I don't know. I don't think it would take us that long. I think that we've kind of.
You say that, but like we've been like we spent a ton of time episode 1, and then
we spent like 3 episodes episode 1.
And it was a 2-parter.
It was a 2-parter.
It was a 2-parter. No, we spent like probably 6 episodes. Like we talked about episode 1 in 3 episodes, but there's a lot of take the time that it took to write it. We had to put stuff off while we wrote it.
I don't know, dude. I don't think it would be that hard, to be honest.
I don't know, dude.
All right.
So I think I think we should try it. If we don't get to it, then fine. But I mean, we've only written technically one episode, so I would like to at least try to make a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to write some more too. I don't know if we need to write for the first year. I feel, because remember, this is like where there's two seasons in a year. That's what Ninjago did, right? So we're doing two 10-episode seasons in a year.
I think it would be. I mean, it's just we did a lot of work to build up the world. It kind of feels empty if we don't actually write the story for it, since people are like, we told people to not submit anything that could conflict with canon when there is technically no canon to read yet.
Well, one thing I would be kind of interested in is if we plotted out like a very detailed beat by beat of what goes on and the thing and what they're doing, and then see if people have people, if they want to write scripts, write those scripts, and we can like take notes on that. That might be interesting to see if like people would be interested in doing that. I don't know if anyone would be. Some people might not be, but like we could do like a whole outline, and then we have like, you know, some people write their own scripts and see how it measures up, because
that could be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a concept. Leave in the comments below if you're interested in doing that. I know some people are like, you know, interested in writing and stuff, so this might be a good way to write, do dialogue, do scene transitions, that kind of thing. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, so the final thing to talk about for the TV show real quick before we wrap up is a thing that Purple started the show off with.
Oh yeah.
Is Ragdoll has submitted yet another TV show style animated series design. This one is not of the Toa. This one is of Lirak. First Rockshi animated design. We have come full circle. We truly have. So this is really cool. Yeah, Ragdoll's done, obviously he's done a lot of awesome stuff before. This is our first look at what the villains could look like in this design. So this is pretty cool. It's nice. I like it a lot.
I like the purple.
Yeah. I noticed that there was one concern that perhaps the design might look a bit too complex to animate. And I can kind of see that. I think there's a lot of line work kind of going on in that torso in particular that might be a bit tedious to do frame by frame. But otherwise, I think it looks fine. It works with the style.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think the thing about Lyrac as well is what I like about this is how like the form carries. Like it almost looks like he has a hood kind of coming from his shoulders up, to his head.
Yeah.
The thing that Ragdoll really like took from your designs was like the form and the not just a style, but like how one thing flows into another. The silhouette of Lyrac is very imposing.
Mm-hmm.
And I like
and you can kind of see that the inspiration for that was for a snake right there at the bottom. You can see the shape there. What do you call that snake with like the
Cobra.
a cobra? Yeah. So kind of had the cobra look going on for the silhouette. So that's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. Any other comments on this design?
Ragdoll never ceases to amaze.
Ragdoll never ceases to amaze.
Even when we
almost
don't always go with it
I love when he did the face
100%.
too.
Dude's got talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He also mentioned that he's planning on doing Kurok, so that'll be awesome to see as well.
Ooh,
Fantastic.
that'd be cool.
He says he might deviate from the canon style a little, but I'm okay with that. These are all still concepts.
They're all concept. It's still in concept stage. We don't really even have a canon, a strict canon look for the Rockshi yet. There's all a bunch of different kinds of concepts and stuff. So
Right. We're still experimenting with those, so there we go.
All right, everybody. That is everything we have to talk about for today's brainstorm. It's a pretty fun episode. I think we got through some stuff. Hope everybody had some fun.
Some stuff.
I'm glad
everybody-
we finally got back into the swing of things.
Yeah,
I'm glad
it's been a while. It's been a long
Been
time.
a while.
Did
Anyway.
we want to answer any of those general questions? There are some new ones that popped up.
We don't have time to
Right
do
now.
that.
What time is it?
Next
I mean-
week, general
Next week.
question.
We're at
Cool.
54 minutes,
Get
dude.
hype.
Oh,
Or
never mind.
56.
Never mind. I thought we were at 45. My bad.
No,
My time
we
was
were at
screwed up.
45, 15. Okay, well,
Well, I mean, I know that now. I just said that's what I thought.
we even mentioned it in the podcast when we were at
Tune
45
in
minutes.
next
Purple was like,
week
can we hurry up now? And
The answers general questions.
yeah, we might answer some questions next week. I think we should get back into the TV show personally. So hopefully we can do that a bit more.
Agreed.
But that'll be for next week. For this week, I hope you guys had a lot of fun listening to it. Hope you guys left with some new ideas, some new concepts maybe to play around with. And
You'll get
obviously,
feedback on all the great things we talked about today. All those set concepts.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
and if you have any of those ideas and stuff, feel free to go over to our message boards, board.ttbchannel.com. Submit your own ideas to the Bionicle sub forum. You don't have to pay to create an account. It's completely free. It's a pretty easy process to do. Just go over there, submit your topics and stuff, and maybe we'll even consider it, make it canon.
Maybe.
Maybe. But it's good to put your ideas out there anyway and stuff. So yeah.
It's true.
Also, while you're at it, head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/TTV channel. Links down there at the bottom right. If you see that there, you can head over and join our live studio audience where you can talk on the Patreon chat with us and communicate with us while we're recording these things live and have your comments shown on the feed itself, which is a neat time. So
You know it.
for this, do we do Patreon shout outs on Brainstorm? I
We
don't think
don't
we
know.
No,
usually
it's
do.
only on TTV. Only on TTV.
Only on TTV. Okay, well,
Only on TGV.
TTV is on
TTV.
Friday. So
Only on TTV.
all right, guys, thanks for joining us. I'm Var.
I'm Messa.
I'm John.
And I'm purple.
And this has been Brainstorm, episode 16. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.